Well, welcome to the 2021 Hart Football Media Day. We're here with Grandview head coach Joe Woodley. Coach, how you doing today?
Doing great, Tyler. Good to be here.
Well, entering third season as head coach, you've had quite a bit of success the first two seasons. How excited are you about this 2021 squad and hopefully going into more of a normal, hopefully full fall season?
Yeah, I think I'm about like any coach in the country when a new season begins, and you're pretty optimistic, and I believe that's certainly the case here. I'm pretty excited about this crew, and I think with how last year ended and when it ended, kind of a brief time ago, and playing into the end of April, and getting a kind of a slight break, and then being back at it is a good thing because of how it did end, and I think that's motivated our guys with the way it did end, and and that's to me, I think that's the sign of a good program. You go, you lose one game in the second round of the playoffs, and there's a little bit of disappointment around here, and to me, I think that's sometimes healthy, but at other times, you still got to sit back and appreciate the things we have accomplished, and they can certainly be proud of all that, but we want more, just like every other school, depending upon what their goals are, and you just want to get a little bit better than you were the year before, and haven't been at it long here since camp started, but certainly like the attitude, and especially the effort we're getting, and we've had a little bit of heat, probably much like everybody else, but working through it, and it's just a process. It's how you got to do things, but we're going to be playing pretty quick here. I think it's everyone's going to be surprised. It's going to be here before we all know it. So, trying to maximize the amount of time that we do get with them, and I think we certainly have so far.
Kelsey, we'll kick it over to you.
So you guys were chosen to win the North Division of the conference for that preseason poll. Really, do you and your staff and team feel any pressure for being selected to win the division for the third year in a row? And just really, how are you preparing for that first conference game and the conference games to follow?
Yeah, I don't. I guess I think every coach feels. I don't know if pressure is the right word, but when expectations are high, I've always believed that means things are in a good place, and if you want to live up to those expectations, and we talk about those things, you gotta do everything, to maybe a little bit higher standard, because that's what it takes, and we've been fortunate here at Grandview to, we've won a lot of conference championships, and maybe by default, that's why we were preseason, ranked first. And but coaching cliche, it doesn't matter where you are at the beginning of the year; it's where you end up. And our focus right now is on our next meeting today, and practice tomorrow. Getting ready for that, and if you do all those things kind of bit by bit, and I think those things, those awards and championships, they just kind of take care of themselves. You don't just kind of show up and win them just because you're talented and all that. And yeah, I do believe we're talented, and believe me, I know that's a big part of having success. And the target is on our back. Our kids aren't. We talk about that too. We've won the conference, a few years, or I don't know how many times yet in the Hart since we started, but it's been a decent amount, and teams want to play Grandview. They want to beat Grandview. I understand that, and but we want to beat everybody on our schedule too. So that's just kind of comes with the territory. But I embrace those opportunities, and because like I said, if you're playing a game, it may as well be a big one, and have a lot on the table, and we've had a lot of success in those types of situations.
I like that answer. Yeah, it's always good to be prepared and things like that. So In the topic of preparation, you guys have always been a really strong defensive school. I know you had a few seniors graduate last year that were those primary roles on the defensive side. So, how do you plan to fill those gaps with the guys up front? And are there any newcomers or returners that you're looking to kind of lead that pack?
Yeah. You're always gonna, if you're part of a good program, you're gonna have good seniors, and that was certainly the case for us last year, more predominantly on the defensive side of the football. And lost a number of guys over there. I can't remember if we have 5 or 6 returning starters coming back, but the guys we did lose are, they're going to be hard to replace. We know that, but we've replaced, all American, all conference guys in the past, and still kind of continued to move in the right direction. And I think we're at a place here at Grandview where guys kind of wait their turn and get their turn and make the most of their opportunities. So, it'll be tough to replace them, but I don't expect any kind of step back. And I really like what I've seen so far from the guys that are filling those shoes, and they're just hungry. They want to play for Grandview and play in those big moments, and and at the reality is our defense does have a kind of a tradition here of being pretty good, and they don't want to let those guys down before them. So I think that's kind of the standard, and that's what they want to continue to carry on, and I expect us to. I guess that's the best answer is I expect us to just kind of pick up where we left off, and maybe even get better. That's the challenge to them, to us coaches, and I feel confident we can get that done.
Coach, for those watching here today that may be unfamiliar with your team, break down a little bit of your offense. Who are some offensive playmakers that you hope to deliver for your team this year?
Yeah, well, I think anytime you're talking about an offense, you got to start with the quarterback, and certainly Johnny Sullivan. I feel we're very fortunate to have a guy of Johnny's caliber. He's been here 2 years now, and hasn't lost a regular season game as a starter. And he's a gym rat. Does everything you would want your quarterback to do, in season, out of season, in the film room, in the classroom. He's almost a 4.0 if he's not, pretty darn close. And he just kind of checks all those boxes you want as a leader, and just feel very confident with him kind of, running the show, for lack of a better term. And just fortunate to have him. Just got to keep him healthy, and that I think having a veteran quarterback when you're competing for a conference championship really is important. Up front on our offensive line, feel pretty good about what we have. Lost a couple guys there, but we had some guys we played a lot last year. I think our depth, is good. That's always a concern, just having depth in the offensive line. But we got 3 kids that I feel pretty good about with our, they're kind of our interior guys. At least they've played a lot of football here. Clayton Mitchell, Mitchell Smith, Payne DeLarme, Caden Young's a new face. We're kind of trying to find that 5th one right now from guys that have been here in the past. We're gonna have to break in a brand new tight end. We play our tight end about every play, slash fullback, whatever you want to call it. And I don't know who that's going to be yet. We lost an all-conference guy in Ty Wenzel a year ago, so trying to figure out who that'll be, and feel good about what we have there. Running back. Got a couple kids, or more than a couple. Got a few kids coming back, and one kid coming back from an injury from 2 years ago that I'm excited to see again. And running back at Grandview's for the most part usually been by committee, and I feel our committee's good this year. And out of receiver, I do believe we have some pretty good dynamic playmakers. Of course, Anthony Turner's been. He's been an All-American, second team All-American for 2 years. Brandon Martin was a new kid a year ago that really, kind of came onto the scene, so to speak, and made his presence felt, made a bunch of big plays for us. He's been, a really good blocker in the run game. And Bennett Spry is a guy who stepped up last year. Dom Wright. We've got a handful of guys that I feel good about, and we also had, got a couple transfers that have come in at the wide receiver position that I think these conference coaches will see that are pretty effective. And again, at receiver, we play three at a time, and they can't go all game. They get tired. They're running around a lot. They're blocking. It's not just catching balls. You got to do it all. And the guys that I feel like we're almost 8, 9, 10 deep at the wide receiver position. It's probably our position we do have the most depth at. So pretty excited about them.
Last question for you. Obviously, Grandview's been a really special place to you and your family, and the program's grown so much and done well. But overall, the university won the Conference Commissioners Cup. There's been multiple national championships with wrestling and men's volleyball recently. But for those Hart fans out there and that maybe unfamiliar with Grandview, what is it about Grandview that's been so special and that's been able to put together so much success overall the last few years?
Oh man, well, I think first and foremost, to have a successful program, I think there's a handful of things that need to be in place. And number one, I just think it's the administration. They've got to kind of want to be successful and give us the tools that we need as coaches to be successful. And this place is second to none in regards to that, starting with our president, President Henning, whose idea it was to start football back in 2008. He knew how important that would be to a campus and community and alumni and all that. We've obviously done well. I think he had a good vision for that. And then of course, Troy Plummer, our athletic director, he hired my dad. I think he hired the right guy to get it started. And, of course, Dad did it for a long, long time with a lot of success. And, being in a great location, we're in Des Moines, Iowa, it's capital city. I think we're over 500,000 people in the surrounding area. So it's an attractive place for high school kids, at least in state. Des Moines is a pretty popular place. There's lots of things to do. And, that's always a good thing to sell in recruiting. And, we certainly take full advantage of that. And, we've got a great campus and campus life. It's a welcoming community. I've got a great relationship. All of us coaches, in the athletic department, Kelsey, SID, everybody around here. I just think we all get along pretty well. We support one another. There's not one hint of jealousy. We're truly happy for each other when we win. Other sports win, and it's just a great place to be. And every coach around here probably has had several opportunities to maybe make a jump to maybe a higher level or another place, or quote unquote greener pastures, and or at least people you would think it might be greener pastures, but man, it's sure hard to beat being at a place like this. I truly enjoy coming in here every day just because of the kind of the simple answer to you, Tyler, is just the people. There's just great people around here, and it truly is a pleasure to be a Grandview Viking.
Great. Well, Coach, thank you so much. Kelsey, thank you for being here and all you do for Grandview. But Coach, we really appreciate your time, and good luck in this 2021 season coming up.
You bet. Thanks, Tyler.
All right. Take care.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, Kels.